Okay, meeting is called to order at 7:47. We have a quorum. Present are Katie Howard and Arthur Alexander from the council, as well as Julian, our wonderful voter roll contractor. And let's proceed. Summary of major tasks now completed. Hi, John. You're looking good. Uh, we have really done, this committee has really done an incredible amount of work. I mean, not only compiling the election regulations from 5 different scattered documents and making them make some coherent sense, but setting up an election schedule that works, and this huge project on the voter roll verification. I mean, this has been really heavy lifting and almost done here, team. I mean, we're coming to the last home stretch here. And I am really impressed by what this committee has done. You guys have just been astounding in terms of your dedication and thoroughness. And Julian, that includes you, and Michael, that includes you, and Katie as our liaison, that includes you too. What a great team. We really have done some major work here.
Marjorie, so Marty,
Yes, ma'am.
I can't let you praise us all without praising you for doing the lion's share of the work. So please take some kudos yourself. You are an amazing leader. Thank you so much.
What a lovely thing to say. I just try to keep us organized. You
Yes,
guys are doing the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
Okay. The first item on we need to do tonight is approval of the March 24th meeting minutes, which were sent around earlier today. Just one page. That was our 9-minute meeting last Sunday morning. And again, talk about service above and beyond the call of duty. Meeting at 9:30 on a Sunday morning was really lovely. And Michael, thank you again for being available. Katie and Arthur, thank you for also being at that meeting. Any changes or edits on the minutes from last week?
No, I move to approve.
Okay. John, do we have a second? Paul, do we have a second?
I have a second. Yes, second.
Okay.
And also, I want to second Naomi's comments about you, Marty. You deserve a lot of accolades.
Oh no, thank you, but no, it's a team effort, and it has been a team effort. With smart people, it's easy to get a lot of work done, and boy, we have done a lot of work, and a lot of smart people putting in time on it. All right, a motion on the floor to approve the minutes from the March 24th Sunday morning meeting. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we're good. Paul, welcome aboard. Unmute yourself. And any residents tonight? I don't see any residents. Katie or Arthur, do you have any comments before we get into the action items?
No, I was just checking for residents. I don't see any residents. So.
Okay. All right. Action item number 1. Following up on the postal tracking on the ballot return envelopes, which, as you recall, we were told initially could not be done and is now, in fact, going to be done and done quite efficiently. And I want to thank Michael for his help in terms of researching that track, that letter track system. And I want to thank Larry Watson for finding it, and then the other residents who checked it out. And we now have it in place. Eclectic, the mail vote contractor, says it works. And the only thing the committee needs to do tonight is set up an email account to do the tracking. The way the system works is when a letter gets sent from them to us or us to them, and we're doing this on the return ballots, that as the postal code on the envelope goes through various postal facilities, their system, the letter track system, sends an email saying it's in Philadelphia, it's in Mount Holly, New Jersey, it's being delivered. And we need an email to receive those email notices to track the return ballots. The council has approved this, and again, thank you, council members, for that. And we have Michael in the process of working with the village's IT guy to set up a village tracking email. And I think it can just be called, if the committee agrees, tracking@martinseditions.org. So if there's any committee discussion on that tracking email, we need to set it up. I think it should just have a simple name, tracking@martinseditions.org. Does that sound okay to people? What do y'all think?
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, I think it's good. I was going to ask you who does the printing of the barcode or whatever? Do we put that on our materials?
They do that at the letter track company sends that to Eclectic, our mail boat contractor, and they print out basically it's postal barcode labels, and then they put the barcode labels on our ballot return envelopes. So when you return your completed ballot envelope, it'll have the Eclectic and mailing address on the front, but it'll also have this barcode that is the postal tracking system. And then every time it goes through a postal handling facility, it gets, tracked that like, okay, it was here, and now it's here, and now it's here.
Yeah, but they
Yeah,
put that on, we don't, right?
That's right. They do it at their end. And
Okay.
they wanted to do it at their end, and I said, that was fine because, and that way they have the envelopes, they're putting together the ballot package that have, the envelopes that come to us, and the return envelopes are inside that. And so they're going to assemble the package. So should be all set. They're happy to do it. They're happy to know it exists and that it's doable. I told them we gave them a new product they could market for their firm. We did their work for them. But it looks like it will work. We'll find out. I mean, but I'm pretty excited about that. Any other thoughts about the setting up the VMA tracking email address?
Mhm.
Okay, can we have a motion to approve that then, please?
I would so move.
All right, sounds good to me.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 Hi,
Okay. Hey, Jen, welcome aboard. Thank you
hi,
for
sorry.
No,
Dinner ran over a little bit.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. We've approved the March 24th minutes, and we just approved the postal tracking email that we need to implement that. Okay,
Okay,
the next step is the biggie, and I want to start by thanking Julian very, very deeply for all his dedicated work and his thoroughness and his expertise. And the plan for tonight, I'm gonna turn over to Julian in a second, but the plan for tonight is that we need to actually walk through his voter roll results and do a preliminary approval vote or two on the voter roll list that we send to the contractor, because we're supposed to send the voter roll to the contractor at the end of this week, this current week. And there are 3 different lists that Julian sent us. He'll explain in more detail. One list is people who are confirmed or, very likely voters. And second list is people who still need to be further checked. And the third list is people that we, know are not current residents to be current voters. And of the 77 letters that we sent on March 5th or 6th to the people who were on Julian's not current residents list, looks like 76 of the 77 people were accurate. I know of only one person who got back to us and said, wait, no, I am here. And we assured him he was on the voter roll, and we've confirmed him. So Julian, let me just start by saying that is exceptionally thorough work, and an accurate voter roll is essential to any good election. And so with that, I'm going to turn it over to you and ask you to walk us through the list for our approval. We don't need to approve every single name one by one. We can approve this in sections. But Julian, I'm going to turn it over to you with a big thank you in advance.
Thank you. It looks like this meeting, the host has disabled participant screen sharing, so
Uh-oh. Michael, can
if
you
you
fix
set this
that?
up, can you edit that so that I can share?
Julian, I just made you a co-host so that now you should be able to share your screen.
Cool. Yep, there we go. Thanks. All right, are you guys all seeing the list?
Yes. A nice green list.
Yeah.
Green.
So good evening, everyone. First and foremost, thanks to all of you for your help in completing this project. Y'all have been fantastic, especially you, Marty. But since we've got quite a bit of work ahead of us, I'll get straight to the point with some stats on the project so far. We have fully confirmed a total of 535 voters so far. These are the folks who are marked in green. The darker green denotes residents who are confirmed directly by committee members at the beginning of this process, while the lighter green denotes residents who I confirmed either, through like the voter survey or by property records. And so this is like this is actually 70% of the total list, and I guess if you take out the people who are ineligible, 77%. To clarify what I was saying about the property records, Maryland's Department of Assessments and Taxation lists pretty much every property owner in the database, and it even designates whether it's their primary residential address. So it's a pretty good tool for being able to confirm if someone's eligible. Moving on, I've designated 119 residents as likely eligible. While I didn't include a rationale for these folks, I noted them as such because I didn't have a reason to think they weren't eligible. Pretty much all of them are on one of the other lists I was looking from, such as the county roll or the resident lists, and those that aren't appear to be relatives of confirmed residents. And this makes about 15% of the total list, 17% if you remove ineligible people. My personal recommendation would be to leave these folks on the final roll, just to err on the side of caution, and then flag them for inquiry next year if you don't hear back during your outreach this week, just because I wouldn't want for any of them to be removed from the roll. But obviously that decision will be left to you all. And so between the confirmed eligible and the likely eligible, that is 80% of the voter list. And if you remove the people who are confirmed as ineligible, that's a total of 94. So got a pretty good showing so far. We have confirmed 54 residents as not eligible to vote. These people were only marked as such either directly by a committee member or by responses to the voter survey or the street captain reports. Let me scroll down a little bit. So the folks in bright red were the ones that were confirmed as ineligible at the beginning of the project, whereas the dark red people were confirmed as ineligible later on via either like the voter survey or like direct responses. At this point, there's only 38 people designated as likely ineligible, all of whom you've reached out to at this point. The majority of these people were either not on any other lists or were marked on the inactive on the county roll. And what that means is that the county tried to contact them and did not receive a response. And so rather than just remove them for the roll, the county designates them as inactive, and then the next year tries to contact them again. And if they don't respond that second year, then they are like officially removed from the list. So people who are flagged as inactive on the county list, it's a solid chance that those folks don't live there anymore, given that the county has already tried to reach out to them.
Is that the list in tan?
Yeah, this or it's a light red tan. Yeah, that's all of these folks right here.
Now they were all on our part of our list of 77 that we sent the initial letters to.
Yes.
Okay.
And so for this, I have the voter roll divided into a couple different formats. So this is the primary list I have here, where you've got all your confirmed on the top, the confirmed ineligible here, confirmed or likely ineligible, and then likely eligible. I also have this broken down into like sorted by street. I have alpha order down here. Only the people who are officially confirmed, verified. This list has only the likely eligible. This one has the likely and. So as you can see, I broke it down a couple different ways. But this primary one, I'm thinking we can just use this for tonight's purpose. So my next step will be collecting any information that you all dig up during your outreach this week, and then I am planning to update the list on over the course of Thursday and Friday, and then get that final list to get to the mail contractor with you either that Friday night or Saturday. And that's pretty much all I got. So if you don't have any questions, we can go ahead and get started on reviewing some of these lists.
Okay, my first question is for the committee members. Again, with a big thank you to you, Julian. Committee members, are we comfortable going ahead and approving the list in green as people who will be on the qualified voters list this year? Do people want to look at that in more detail for a moment before we go to do that? Because we don't have to approve it line by line, name by name. We can approve them as a group. We said at the very outset that we would be relying on the contractor's work for the list of qualified voters this year. And I've looked over the list and it looks right to me. The list that we need to focus in on to actually go through in more detail is not the list of people in green that are confirmed, but the list of the people in light blue that might need further checking. So the question is, does the committee want to go ahead and approve the green list as qualified voters right now? We don't have to. We could do it on Friday. But I'm thinking let's get it done if we can. What do y'all think?
Mm.
Jen, unmute yourself.
I was gonna say, I'm in favor of approving that list now. I think we've done due diligence. I think it's dark green for a reason, or for actually multiple reasons. And I think the place where we need to put the time in, it's the either likely or ineligible. It's the ones that are really in question and are potentially at risk of being disenfranchised to me.
Yeah. John, Paul, Nomi,
Yeah.
what do you think?
Okay, is it, just to be sure, I'm looking at the gray list and frankly, I don't see my name on it.
The gray list doesn't have your name. You're in the green list up
Okay,
above
but I see people
because you're
on the
confirmed,
gray
John.
list that I know are on Chestnut. And
Okay, on the green list is the people who are good to go, who are the voter list. So look on Chestnut and find yourself there.
well, I don't think I'm that important. If I'm on a green list, I'm sure.
Well, you better be there. You are, John
Well,
Sherrill.
he's right in front of me. Yeah, okay, I'm sure that, yeah, okay, let me see some of the neighbors. I see you got blank. Okay. All right, okay, there's. It's
Yeah, Helen and Marty Blank are on
okay,
there.
all right, super, great.
Okay.
Marty, is there
Yeah.
any way we can access this offline? We had problems here on Raymond Street of two people initially that had been deceased that were on the list early on. And I'd just like to, check through that kind of thing.
Yes, you do have a copy of it that Julian sent around last week. But Julian, let's go down to Raymond and check the neighbors that Paul is concerned about.
All right. So the
Julian, I have
deceased
one
people
question.
are most likely going to be one of these folks.
Yeah, it's Robert Eccles is deceased. You've got him there. William Parks is deceased.
Yep, and they're both on the list of people to be removed.
Yeah,
Right.
I also included a link to the obituaries as well, just for like final confirmation.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice thorough work there, Julian. And their wives, the widows, are both on the green list above of people who are still here as current residents and will
Yeah.
get a ballot.
Yeah, and they
So
want
that looks like that's right there.
I've talked to both of them. They both want to vote. That's for sure.
All people should vote.
Yep.
And one of the people I removed, Robert Isley, who's on Thornapple Street, whose funeral I went to a couple weeks ago, he's here on the red list. Bob Isley at 3501 Thornapple. So that's also correct. And David Bjorklund and Riley Markham, those are the two young men who used to live with Keith Allen on Turner, and they've both moved away now. That's confirmed. So this list looks quite accurate. And again, Julian, I really appreciate the notes column you have on the far right of your spreadsheets here, because it really shows where, and how you were, able to confirm that somebody was ineligible and then on the red list or eligible to vote on the green list. And that is really thorough. It's just, just ace work. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I agree with what Jen said about we ought to, approve the green list and as on the qualified voter list tonight. I think we can also approve the red list as being no longer qualified voters, because that looks accurate from what I checked. And again, I think we've done due diligence, as Jen said. And Julian has certainly done due diligence, and we have as well. And let's focus on the people on that blue-gray list, which is the ones that might still need some checking. So do we want to go ahead and vote and confirm the green list tonight? Let me ask for a motion on that.
I move to approve the green list.
Okay, is there a second?
I second it.
All right, all in favor of approving the green list? Say aye.
Aye.
I,
Okay, efficient team. On the red list, the people that are confirmed not to be current residents. Do we want to go ahead and approve that list tonight?
I move to do that as well. I'm comfortable with it.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor of approving the red list as people who will be removed from the qualified voters list, please say aye.
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 Okay, good to go. Efficient team. And Julian, thank you again for your efficiency. Let's go down to that blue-gray list and the tan list.
All right.
On the blue list, I have at least one person that got in touch today. If you go down to Christopher Amtower, Amtowr, about 15 names down. Christopher Amtower, he's on Cummings, I believe.
Ah, there we
Christopher
are.
Amtower. You find him? Yeah.
Yep.
He got in touch with the committee today said he wanted to check his voting status per the VMA newsletter that came out today. So thank you, Michael, for putting out that newsletter because he responded immediately. And there he is. So I sent him an email back from the committee saying, yep, you're on our list. You're good to go. So that's one guy can be added to the green list.
All right.
Julian, if you would move him to green. And
I also see
Jonathan's.
I also see John Mitchell right there below that on the blue list. He still lives here.
And he's
Yeah.
confirmed. So move him to green. All right.
And Cole Mitchell is their son who's currently in college. So
Is he living here still?
I think like half the year he lives here. So
That counts.
college student.
And
Yep.
and Lori Zucco is actually John Mitchell's wife, Lori Mitchell. So she can be confirmed to green.
Okay, so John and Cole can be confirmed.
I think so.
I guess Cole would be the only question mark, but John and Lori definitely live here.
Okay. And then if you go up to number 638, if you're looking at the numbers along the left-hand margin, Jonathan Slapnick goes to the red list. Got confirmation
Okay.
from his mother, no less, that he no longer lives here. Okay. And if you go up to 632 and 633, the two James Joyces.
Yeah, that one, I marked those as in a different shade of blue because I did want to flag them. I know one of them is definitely eligible, but I wasn't sure if that was the elder or the younger one. I'm assuming it was the elder, but I didn't want to make any final justifications without your input.
That's the caution. And in fact, I talked to them, all three of them. James Joyce, and Patrick Joyce are all voters that go on the green list.
Okay.
And Grace Schrader, right below that, also goes to the green list, as confirmed.
Mhm.
And John, you were going to check on
Yeah,
the Johnsons. Were
One
you able
thing
to
I
talk
can
to
tell
them?
you is that there's certainly the wife and the husband are there, and the two boys are in college. Okay, and whether they will vote or not, I mean, they're eligible to vote. Okay, that's all I can tell you.
That's all we need if they're eligible to vote because they're over 18. Thank you for checking with the Johnsons. And so Arthur
And that's
and
Arthur and Theodore.
Go to the green list. Okay. And we'll also have some additional updates on this list as the committee members, start calling some of these people. I was doing some of that over the weekend. And John, thank you again for checking on the Johnsons. So we've already moved another, 8 or 10 people to the green list here, which is great. Does anyone else have any updates that they'd like to see as we sort of take a minute and kind of look through this blue list?
Number 656. I'm sure that she's still on Delfield, although I have not checked. Okay, I know that's a good name. That's a good person. That's the mother, as far as I know.
And she still lives there?
Yeah.
Do we need to call her?
Well, I think we better check. I don't think she has a daughter that old, but I know that that's the mother's name. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So, maybe we should call her and find out about that
Yeah,
one.
let's call and make sure.
Okay.
One thing that was funny about Sophia's Spina is that the other Spinas are at 7203 Delafield and Sophia's listed at 7202, which is weird. That's the Rules house. That's Molly Rules house,
Yeah,
7202.
that's Molly Rule's house. You're right. Yeah.
So I'm not sure why Sophia was listed there on last year's voter roll. That could be an error. So we should call. If you know them, you want to be the one to call them, John?
Marty, could
Are
you
you talking to me? Were
Good.
you, Marty, was that comment for me?
Yes, yes. Do you want to
Yeah,
call
yeah,
Sophia?
I'll look into it, see what's going on. But you're right, something doesn't look right with 7203. But who knows? Okay.
Mhm. Thank you for following up on that one.
Marty,
Hey,
And
hey, Marty,
Go to
do you
re-
want my input now as well? I know
yes, please. Yes, please.
because both the Kapoors at I guess at 647 and 648 are both confirmed from the village list. They complain about bird pooping on their car all the time, as if I can just.
Then they go on the green list. They live here. That's great. Any others that you have, Julian?
Marty,
Um,
could you go to Raymond Street when you get a chance?
yeah,
Okay,
no
well-
problem. Here we are.
What, get 34, let's see, 3409, is there a 3409?
We don't seem to have a 3409 on the list here.
That's what I'm trying to find here.
No, it might be on one of the other ones.
Okay, because that is a transient house that is rented and people are coming and going kind of in that house all the time. I have no idea what the name is currently,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, let's look at 3409 Raymond and see what it says.
Yeah, I'm not seeing them on here.
how about
Okay.
It's not on any list.
All right, then we put that on our definite checklist.
Well, that I'm just thinking it wouldn't be 09. I'm 11, and it would be either be 7 or I mean it'd either be 8. You have a 3408. I don't see that in there either.
3408 Raymond.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at it.
All right,
There
the
it is.
Schermeyers looks like
Yeah,
at 3408 Raymond.
yeah. That's
They're confirmed as eligible.
a dead end. And what are they on? They're eligible.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
confirmed.
let me see how I confirm them. Yeah, they were on the one of them was confirmed via the property record, and the other was confirmed by a response to the voter survey.
Okay, good.
That's a
Good job.
transient. Yeah, transient house.
Good that they're there. Okay. On the blue list, we do have the street captains still to report in. Some of them have reported in, some haven't. And so that's supposed to be coming in tomorrow and Wednesday, the finals for the street captains. So some of these people on the blue list will in fact move to the green or the red with the confirmations from the street captains.
Awesome.
That's our process this week. This is our voter roll week, So
161 Quincy, the Liebermans, I believe that's right. That is a rented house, so maybe you can check them. But I
Okay.
have heard from them not too long ago.
Okay, good.
They were on the county roll as having voted at least in the last few years, but not on the other lists.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
because it's a rented house, and I know we couldn't identify them for quite a while, so it
Gotcha.
makes sense that they weren't on last year's list. But
But I see Katya Hill there at Katerina. She definitely lives there.
Okay, that's great. Katya Hill is at 3521 Raymond.
Yes.
Right, that goes to the green list.
And
Okay.
Jordan Ramel is the Ramel's son, and I see him in the house all the time.
Okay, then that's a good one to go.
He's across
Very
the
good. On
street.
the,
And Saskia Everts, I'm not sure if she's living there, but I saw her with her kids getting ice cream yesterday.
okay, well, we need to check whether she's actually living here.
Right.
Because I had heard that she had moved out, but I don't know for sure. So that's one of the ones to be
Check.
called.
Okay, check.
And Grace Trowern, is that
She's
Steve
at
Trowern's?
college.
Mhm.
I'm not sure where, I don't know who, and Tom.
Steve
Little Tommy can vote?
Yeah, can you believe they're grown up?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay,
You wanna come up? Come on.
all right. So Grace and Tom Trowern on the green list?
I'm not sure. They must be in school, so I have no idea.
All right, then so they don't move them to the green list till we call then.
Right.
Okay, if you'd go back up on Chestnut Street.
Yes.
Okay. We have a Kirsten Scott on Chestnut Street, who is definitely confirmed.
Let me find her.
Well, also looking at the Mitchells there, their son, he's in college. And I'm not sure you didn't put him on the green list.
We did because he lives here half the year.
Yeah, but he wasn't, go back and you'll see he's not green.
Okay. That's
Chris
I'm
Phillips
checking
watched
on,
that
so wait, you were saying about Kirsten Scott, she is eligible?
she is eligible, yes.
Okay.
She
I
is
will mark
the
her.
spouse and or partner of Elliot Antoine and confirmed.
Okay.
Okay.
Black
Fred
review.
Levy, right above Kirsten, it goes on the red list. He moved out years ago.
Okay.
The street captain confirmed that one. Red.
Okay. I'm gonna flag this a different orange, just so that because I'm gonna be adding a note saying confirmed at this meeting. So I'm
That's-
just gonna revise.
Okay,
these
there's
so that I can
Cole
find
Mitchell
them.
at 651.
What was that? Mitchell at which street?
At 651, line 651.
Okay. Okay. Because yeah, he was the one where we weren't sure if he was eligible, but if you're
He's
okay with
here half the
confirming-
year. Yeah, he's okay. And if you go down to 664 and 665, street captain on the phone confirmed the Tollivers are here.
Okay.
Does anyone else have?
I have a question.
Sure. Mhm.
First of all, I'm just astounded by this level of work. It is so impressive. I wish more people were on this call to witness this. I just want to say that, Julian, I am really impressed.
Thank you.
And you really know your colors. There's one line, there's one item here, it's purple, and it's for a resident on Delafield, 7209. What's the purple?
Oh, was that Kimberly Wheel?
Yes.
Yeah, so that one, I have, like, that was a duplicate. She was listed twice on the list. And so I think I verified with Michael or something, the right one, and I have removed that one in purple. But
Oh.
yeah, I flagged her with a different color than everything else because it was a duplicate, but I wanted to leave it on there just like until we got closer to the end. Just so there wasn't any confusion.
Yeah. No. Great.
Thorough. Music to my heart, Julian.
So impressive. Yes.
Okay. Does anyone else have any changes as of this evening's meeting on this? What our goal here is, now that we've approved the green list and the red list, is to take this blue-gray list and the tan list and divvy them up. Because the next step is input from the street captains, which is coming in tomorrow and Wednesday, and phone calls by us to these folks. And we have on this list phone numbers where they were available for people. We have email addresses where they were available for these people. We may need to actually walk down and knock on some doors, which, I set aside some time to do on Wednesday, which of course is pouring rain. So I may end up doing it Thursday morning or whatever. But we as a committee need to resolve the blue-gray list and the tan list. Tell me again who's on the tan list.
These folks are all the ones who are likely ineligible.
Likely ineligible. Okay. And
see
they were
this.
on the list we did the 77 person mailing to.
Yeah, at least most of them, unless the status is like a couple people's status changed and were either got confirmed as eligible or ineligible, but
Uh,
more or less it's the one that was sent out already.
Okay, well, then what we can do as a committee, and this is another decision we can make tonight, um, of those 77 people who got the written notification in early March, um, they were all told that they needed to respond. And the regulations say that if somebody doesn't respond within 30 days, that we as a committee can vote to take them off the qualified voter list. And we send them then a second notification, according to the regs, that is a notification that says, hi, you didn't respond to your first written notification. You haven't responded to our emails and calls. You have now been voted off the qualified voter list. We'll say it diplomatically, I promise. Um, and, there is an appeals process if you think this decision was wrong. But essentially, I think all the people who didn't respond under the regs can now be moved to the red list. I would leave them in tan here, but if they got that letter and didn't respond, that is grounds for us to send them the second notice and to vote tonight that unless they respond to the second notice, that they are in fact not going to receive a ballot this year. So I guess the next step to ask you, Julian, to do is to take this list in tan, double check it against the list that we sent the 77 people that got the mailed notice back in early March, and make sure that these people, because as far as I know, none of these people have responded to that letter.
Gotcha.
I mean, some people wrote back, their family members wrote back, it says, yes, they don't live here anymore. And I know Michael got some of the letters sent back, return to sender, not at this address. So that's a confirmation they're no longer here. So Julian, can you work with Michael and move these people to the red list?
Yeah, no problem.
Well, I'm looking-
Julian,
This is the tan list you're looking at?
Yeah, the tan list.
I see the Cisnes there. They were voting by absentee last year.
And they got the letter, but they haven't responded. If they want, I mean, we could still send their ballots to Brownsville, Texas again this year. But with the new definition that the council approved, they actually have to give us something in writing because we need some factual basis to send them a ballot because they're not residents currently. And if they don't respond, then they would not get a ballot this year. I don't know if you want to send them an email. Arthur, feel free to do that.
Okay.
But they did get the letter and we haven't gotten anything back from them. So they have to give us an affirmative written statement that they intend to return in order to still be qualified voters, because
Okay.
you passed the new definition that absentee owners don't get automatic voting rights anymore, remember?
Okay.
so I just want to say that on 114 Quincy Street, Bennett Parr is definitely should be on the red list.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll have
And
to
unless-
check on the other.
yeah.
I'll check on who's street captain on Quincy Street?
Michael Krakoff, and I talked to him the other day, and he's going down the list that we had of these folks on the tan and the blue list, and he'll get back to us tomorrow or Wednesday. But if
Okay,
you want to give
okay.
Michael a call and work with him, I think that'd be great, Nomi, if you and Michael could work together on that.
Okay, I will.
That's terrific. Good teamwork. Okay. So, on the blue list, how many people have we got on the blue list, Julian?
There were originally 119. I would have to resort it again to figure out what it is now.
Well, it's about
but
100 now. So
yeah,
that means
so that sounds right.
each committee member has 20 people to contact.
Good. And
And
yeah,
then-
I will update this list tonight with these changes and send you a revised copy so that you can tonight so that you can get started easily tomorrow.
That will be great. And do we want to divvy up the list right now, team? Who wants to take the first 20? Should
I'm gonna take all of Quincy. I don't know how many that is, but I thought the street captain's doing that.
The street captains are doing that. So we'll see how much, but again, talk to Michael and see how many he's got, because you may need to follow up with calls, because he doesn't know everybody on Quincy either.
Yeah,
Can you do Quincy and Raymond both? Know me?
sure. I don't know anybody there,
Well, you'll get to
actually.
know some neighbors.
How about if I do Quincy and Bradley?
Okay,
It's a little bit better.
Bradley. Right,
Put-
yeah. Paul, would you like to do Raymond?
Yeah, I'll do Raymond.
Okay, Paul will do Raymond. That's another long street. Okay, Jen, are you gonna have any time at all to make phone calls or send emails?
I mean, I'm not around during business hours, but I'll take the Delfield list. If that makes life easier. You know, on my dog route, and I can take the dog out.
That's great. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Jen. And John, that leaves you and me with most of the other stuff, and the street captains will reporting in. So, John,
If
you got
you-
time to make some phone calls? And
who's doing, is Jen doing, Delfield?
Jen's doing Delfield.
I'll do Delfield. Is there Thornapple
What-
also? I can't tell.
Thornapple is pretty much done. I talked to the
Yeah,
street
just a
captain
couple
there.
folks on
So
there.
Thornapple is pretty much done. There's just a couple people on Thornapple. Do you want to?
If I
Megan-
can take Delfield and Thornapple if that
Okay.
makes.
Well, I
As
was
we're
gonna say-
looking at Thornapple right here, Megan Blaine is definitely on the voter roll. Street captain confirmed her. That moves to green. Holway and Wooten moved to green.
Holway and Wooten.
Holway and Wooten both.
Okay.
Maria Sokolov goes to red. All right. And the ones that need to be checked on Thornapple are the Edelsteins and Banaz Anushapur.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Okay. So Jen has got Delfield and Thornapple, those last few.
On Delfield, I just wanted to comment that 7202 and 7203, Molly Rule lives on three, but she's got Spinola listed on 3 as well. Something's wrong with the address there.
Yeah, yeah. I think that it could be that Molly Rule's got the wrong address, but I think Molly Rule is at 7202. I just don't think Sophia Spina is at 7202. I think Sophia is at 7203.
Yeah, it
And
looks like a
John-
typo.
Yeah. So John and Jen, check on that.
I'll take care of that. And
Okay, all right.
Excellent.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm probably
wrong
not
with
gonna
two
get to
addresses
this
on the
till
people.
Thursday,
names.
just because the weather's terrible.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Thursday's okay. And the plan of action, I think, for us, tell me if you think this all makes sense, is that we'll sort of we'll have Julian update the lists on Thursday night and send us the sort of final, lists out, and any that sort of the green list, the red list, and the blue-gray list will be the ones we'll have left on Thursday evening. And we as a committee probably need to just talk to each other. We can do it administratively by email to confirm any final stuff. But our job as a committee is to get back to Julian by Thursday, 4 p.m. So write down the timeline. Thursday, 4 p.m. is when Julian needs to hear back from us on anybody we can confirm to move either to the green list that they're good or good to go, or the red list that they're no longer here. So 4 p.m. Thursday is our deadline. Okay, committee members?
All right.
Already, that's probably gonna be tough for me if it's pouring rain tomorrow and Wednesday. If
Okay,
the
well,
weather's decent, I can do it Thursday after work, but that would be like 7.
okay.
Uh,
All right. We'll make allowances. We promise. We appreciate all the work that everybody's done on this.
Is Michael sending us the list?
Yes, Michael will resend the list after tonight's meeting. And we'll proceed from there.
I think you mean Julian.
Julian, sorry. Yeah, Julian will send the list.
Yeah, I'll send this one over. I'll include Michael on it, but yeah, I just need a little bit of time to make these updates, and I'll get it out to you in the next hour or two.
And
Okay,
and
and
I,
then,
I will go ahead and review everyone on the blue and I guess blue and gray list from the village office perspective as well. So
Awesome.
I'll review everyone.
aces, 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 teamwork. Um, and I got to tell you, this is a big, big job, and I'm so happy to see us doing it. And I appreciate the council approving this, and I appreciate Michael and Julian both, have just been wonderfully helpful. And of course, the teamwork on the committee here is just, it makes me feel like, this is actually doable. And I have to tell you, I also had a funny short conversation with Boris, the exec director over at the county voter roll, who told me, I'm not quoting exactly, I'm paraphrasing, that he is ridiculously jealous because we are able to do this, and he cannot do this kind of level of confirmation at the county level. And you know how bad the county list is. And so he just thinks that we're, just so on track here, and he's really pleased. And Julian, that's a compliment to you as well, that he's really impressed with the way we're going about this. So
Thank you.
one of Julian's products at the end of this process this spring is that Julian is going to give us a written standard operating procedure, so that we'll have the system to do this, in the future. And this has been a big, big job, and it's been really needed. And we are just, I'm really proud of us for doing it. Let me just leave it at that. Any
Um,
questions about next steps?
Marty, I have a question, maybe for Michael. Is there any way that I could get, if I could get a hard copy of this by color? Is that something maybe Michael's or Michael could do? I don't know. I don't have the capability to do this on my equipment.
Yeah, John, no problem. I can print off a colored copy.
You
I
could
might
actually
not.
make a hard copy in color of this?
Yeah, no problem. We can print that in the
What?
office.
You gonna
Yeah,
charge me for it?
You're
No,
already paying
John,
for
you're
it
not
with your
going to be
tax
charged
dollars.
for
I mean,
it.
I'd love to get it tomorrow or the next day if it's possible, Michael.
Well,
Yeah, sure.
Julian will
I'll
will
print it off
update
tomorrow.
it tonight and give it to Michael. And Michael, can you do it tomorrow morning for John?
Yeah, I'll print it off tomorrow.
Why
Okay,
don't you make two and drop one off for me too? That would be really helpful. Thank you,
Sure, no
John. Great
problem.
idea. Does anyone else want a hard copy?
Yeah, I'm only hard copy. Oh,
Okay.
Happy to.
I think
No
we all want a hard copy. I mean, it's so
Yeah.
much easier, I think, looking at this as going back and across the screens here, so forth.
So hard copy, I might have to remove
Yeah.
a couple
And I
columns
really appreciate it. Thank
so
you,
that it
Mike.
fits on one page, but I'll make it work.
Thank you, Michael, so much.
I'll take a hard copy too, please.
Okay, so unanimous on the committee, we'd like a hard copy after Julian does the updating from tonight's session.
Sounds
Okay.
good. Good idea, John.
Michael, just let us know when it's ready.
Will do.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, anything else on the voter roll? Julian?
Nothing here. Just to confirm, the people in like in the light red can be officially marked as ineligible.
Check them across the list of the 77 people who got the written notice.
Gotcha. Will do.
Okay. And if they got the written notice and didn't respond or responded that yes, they had moved, like Art Pine was really nice. What a nice man. I don't know him personally, but he got back to us and says, I have moved and I got the notification and thank you for being thorough. I mean, it's really a nice note from Art. So, I mean, he's definitely, no longer on the voter roll, so he's on the red list. And, people who did respond, we're really pleased that we were doing this so carefully. So I pass along the compliments. Anything else on the voter roll? All right, we will reconvene on Friday as a committee by email to make any final decisions about people who were in the blue-gray and approve by email administratively the list to be sent to Eclectic, the mailboat contractor, which will go on Saturday. That's the plan. Sound okay?
Marty, I won't be able to meet with you on Friday. I will be away.
Okay,
I'm
well,
sorry.
send your info in the first place, and we'll go with four of us on the committee can make that final vote. That's a
Sure,
quorum.
I'll let Julian know what I find.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Perfect. Anything else? Well, then, with a big thank you to Julian, we look forward to the next step here, and it will be really just quite an accomplishment to get this sent off to the mail vote contractor on Saturday. That will be another big, big job completed. And, just for the committee's reminder and for the council members, the committee does have the authority to add new voters until 8 p.m. on election day, May 7th. So if new people move in, Michael, if you get a move in, move out, we can still add new voters, but the bulk of the voter roll will be done and officially verified and sent off on Saturday, which is just great, right on schedule. Anything else? Okay, next steps. For the committee members, Julian, again, a big thank you. Next steps, approval of the Electech ballot packet. Nikki from Electech sent an email today with most of the ballot packet stuff updated for 2024. She's supposed to send the instruction sheet, which is the one missing piece. I looked at it really quickly before the meeting tonight, and I'll send it around to everybody. It looks pretty good, but we'll need to okay that as soon as y'all can look at it. The Electech will do a test mailing to us, the 5 committee members, to check that the ballot packet has the postage on the return envelopes, for example, and to also test the tracking for 5 of us. So that'll be in the next 2 weeks. And last but not least, preparations for the election forum. I was thinking, tell me what y'all think, that Jen and Nomi would do an absolutely splendid job of moderating and being the timekeeper on the forum. And I hope that you two will agree to do that.
Sure.
Jen,
Sure.
was that a yes?
Yep.
Thank
Yes,
you.
for me.
Yep. And you can have either one be the moderator. You can switch halfway through. I will leave that in your very capable hands. And thank you both for doing that. That is going to be at 7:30 on Thursday evening, April 25th, and all the candidates have said that they are available. Paul and John, yeah, go ahead.
Sorry to keep interrupting. I did have a comment on that. Last year I was able to find a little add-on to Zoom that had the timer that shows up on the screen. And
that was terrific.
And since you are doing it on Zoom this year as the host of the Zoom meeting, I can do that again, and whatever you set the time to for how long someone has to respond, I can set a timer there so everyone can see it kind of ticking down.
Yay, team. That sounds great. Committee,
Okay.
do you all agree with the timer?
That's good.
Yes.
Great.
Okay, thank you,
Great
Michael.
feature.
Kudos
Consider
to
that
Michael.
Now I just want to set those at the council meetings.
Yeah, really, that would be good too, wouldn't it? Thank you for
Now,
doing
will
that,
you
Michael.
all be entirely on Zoom? I think last year, the committee they used the village office, which I think is that available, Michael, or do you all want to do it from the comfort of your own home too? That's fine as
I
well.
think we were thinking all Zoom, because
All Zoom,
hybrid is
okay.
harder on Michael.
Yeah, okay.
And 100% Zoom. The candidates all agreed to that.
Okay.
Arthur's still good with you? Is Arthur still on the meeting?
Yeah, I'm here. Good, that's good.
Okay, all right. If there are any other details about the forum, Michael, we do know that from past unfortunate experience that you do need to have 2 recording mechanisms for that forum to make sure that it is recorded. We don't want to go down that road again.
No
So
problem.
Michael,
I have the old recorder that was a device that Niles used or didn't use in some cases. And also Zoom itself is recording now. So as you can see,
well, we're absolutely 100% assured that it will be recorded.
we
Thank
record.
you.
No problem.
Thank you. Any other preparations for the forum? Okay, we have said in our public, the BMA official election info packet that residents can send their questions for the forum to the committee in advance at our committee email, and can also drop off forum questions in an envelope marked election committee up till noon on the forum date. That's Thursday, April 25, in an envelope that just says elections committee on it. And so, I can swing by the office and give Jen and Nomi copies of those questions that come in the office, or you guys could just swing by and pick up anything that comes in by noon on the forum date. The other question I had for you is, in the past, not in the last few years, but prior to that, historically for many years, People could also send in their forum questions by calling committee members, or, you know, people would drop off at my front door. People would hand it to me when I was out weeding in my front yard. We really made it very easy, and the current regs say that residents can send their forum questions in advance, you know, by email, etc. But also by any other means they choose that might be convenient. So John and Paul, I'm wondering, you know, we don't have to do this, but we could put your name and phone number, or your name and your email in a, you know, election notice about the forum that says that people could also contact you directly with forum questions. If you're willing to write them down, if somebody calls you, write it down what they say, you know, you need to just
Yeah.
write down there.
Yeah,
Would you be willing to
I don't have a problem.
Okay, Paul, would you also be willing to take some questions by
Oh,
phone?
Yeah, I would do that, sure.
Okay, well, that's a nice public service to be able to offer that option as well.
John has a
Um,
problem though, right?
Say
John-
again,
Yeah,
John, and
yeah, I said it's fine. I'll be happy to do it. Put
Okay,
my email down and name, whatever.
okay, so you might get an email from a resident saying, here's my forum question, or you might get a phone call.
Yeah.
In which case, you know, in both cases, you need to call them back or email them back and say, thank you, I received your question. You just need to acknowledge receipt,
yeah,
right? Don't make any comments about the nature of the questions. You know, voters can ask candidates pretty much anything they like within the realm of civility. So don't comment on the questions, just say, thank you, we got your question. And then send it over to Jen and Nomi, all right, for the forum.
Okay, cool.
So
Sounds-
are we entertaining questions that are going to be applicable to all the candidates, or are people invited to ask question of a particular candidate?
Traditionally, both were allowed. The regs
Okay.
say that we should have, well, the regs say that all candidates need to answer each question, that people can't really, well, I guess a candidate could refuse to answer something. I've never seen that happen. But, you know, if you were a candidate and I said, Nomi, why did you do X, Y, Z? That would be a very targeted question. As opposed to saying, having a question that says, you know, do all the candidates think that the council members should do X, Y, Z? See the
But what
difference?
about, I would like to pose a question to X.
That's always been allowed in the past, but then the other candidates need to be given time to comment on
Okay.
how they would handle it,
Okay,
right? Because it really is, the questions are applicable to all the candidates. It's, you
Okay.
know, so we need as the moderator, to be sure to ask the other candidates to comment on the same issue, even if
Okay.
it was addressed to one person, because
Okay.
all three candidates need to answer it.
All right. So Jen, I'm thinking that we'll just split the list depending on how many come in.
Yeah.
We do, each of us does a half.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good. Oh, what an organized team. Anything else about the forum prep? And again, we've got some time to work out any further details, but I think we've got it lined up pretty clearly here. Anything else? Good questions, good comments. Okay, team. Any residents' comments, questions, or suggestions? Oh, okay, Katie and Arthur, any comments, questions, or suggestions?
Only to say
Arthur?
that I can't believe it's already April. It's flying by. You all are doing a tremendous job. Keep up the terrific work. And I wish that more of my colleagues or more residents could have seen you know, the behind the scenes of your meeting tonight. It was really impressive. So just keep doing what you're doing. Great job.
Thank you, Katie, from all of us. Arthur, anything before we wrap up?
Nope.
Okay, you know, as a candidate, you're always welcome to ask the committee anything that you need to know about the election.
Yes.
Just saying. Okay, it is 8:47 p.m. May we have a motion to adjourn?
Also move.
I second.
Second?
A second.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 And with our usual efficiency, we have wrapped up in 1 hour. Thank you, team. You are just the best.